Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. He's got Smith here. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Throw complete to the tight end, Morgan. Breaks the tackle, now rally. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
I know, easy.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Cousins again. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And that is incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. He's going to field this at the 4. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
Ready to break.
Mike 54. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
They run with David Montgomery, the 3rd-round pick from Iowa State. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
8 yards there on a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Right here, right here. Check 13. Check 13.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
On the set.
Check line 54. Line 54.
Defense.
On first down, Osweiler. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 46. From the gun, it's Osweiler. They'll find Miller. That's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On second down now, it's Montgomery. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Exit.
Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop. Third and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Pulled in at the 24. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bears take over. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. The Patriots have jumped out to an early lead over Miami. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. On first down, it's Scott. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Here we go. Here we go.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
They run. Montgomery. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. Now Montgomery. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Two. Gun.
58, right over there.
A second down throw for Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Cousins pass intended for Stephon Diggs. Incomplete.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Osweiler and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They start the drive with Cook. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A toss to Cook. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
On play action, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Cousins now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. To throw is Cousins. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to find Equanimous St. Brown, but it's going to be second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
58 to Mike. Here we go. 58. Yo. 58 to Mike.
On second down, Cousins again. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 12-yard line. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. It's first and 10 from the 12. They'll throw again. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
Yellow.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
Go.
That's track. 58, boys. 58.
What's that?
Coming to you.
Where's the hot?
To the air again, it's Cousins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Hey, we're good.
58 to Mike. 58.
Bingo.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Where's the hot?
On third down, Cousins. That's complete right around the 8. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a first and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the shotgun, Osweiler. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9. Now Osweiler. It's complete. It's Miller. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him with contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Cousins now from the 50. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Let's go one more. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Two. Zebra. Spies.
58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. Here we go.
Hot.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. This is intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Looking deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there for Chicago. 54 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now a run with Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On 2nd down, it's Scott, and he'll take this one down near the 15. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now Osweiler. Open man there is Patterson, complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll run with Montgomery. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
X3, 218, chop.
Osweiler got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Riley Ridley with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears have taken the lead. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Next to score, Bears 7, Vikings 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long.
Oh, you got deep?
Now Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Hey, can't.
57. Mike, 57. Not today, you are.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And he finds Cook. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Cousins now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Whip. Watch the whip.
300. Gun.
I got motion.
Throw.
Watch.
They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about,
and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Boston Scott, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
58,
come on. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
gun. First.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Fielded at about the 28. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally? And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Yeah, that's how we do, D.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run. Right there. 54, right there.
3rd and long. It's Osweiler. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top. 31 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Osweiler. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Riley Ridley with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as the Bears push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. He's going to loft one deep left. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Equanimous St. Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it makes the score 21-10. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing, Osweiler. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might... A little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Daniel, and that is incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Fielded just inside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. Cousins now. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Two. Line out.
Again, it's Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The catch is made by Riley Ridley. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh.
Now a give, right side. Scott. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 60 yards. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd and goal, Daniel under pressure, and down goes Daniel. Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Back. Mike's 54. Hey, defense, let's go.
Now Daniel on 3rd and goal. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Joshua Perkins, his first touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Watch 82. Watch 80.
Ringo, 48.
Watch 82. Tight ends Ringo.
Hey, no, easy.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Showing up.
Play fake. Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22.
Let's go, baby.
Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
1st down, Bears.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Recon, 132 fighter. Snap.
From the gun, here's Daniel. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 33. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Right, 58, right there.
Through.
It's a party now.
Following the interception, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
No room to be had there on the 1st down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 4-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
You got nothing to run. You got nothing.
Rock it. Hey, box drop.
Out of the gun, Daniel. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up fourth.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And it's fielded at the 34. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Listen to me.
First down.
Hey, Alpha.
At the 28-yard line.
A first down throw for Cousins. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Two. Safe. Topper. Hey, yo. Hey. High 7.
57, the mic.
Black.
The mic. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense.
Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
First and goal.
General West. Lean up, 48.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Yellow. X3. 218. Chopper.
Check.
Can.
Check 20.
Hey, exit.
Second down and goal. Cousins looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It's a 6-yard carry. It does put him just a few yards short of the goal line, but 4th down coming up. Running for it, here's Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And it's good, so that will get them back within one score. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 36 yards on the play.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a give, right side. Scott. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They go again with Scott. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Scott. And a nice spin into some open field. Oh, no, he lost the football. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the carry, this is Scott. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 30, 20, 10. And he is in for the score. So how about this? A horrible mistake leads to a defensive touchdown, and a 2-point conversion will tie it. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Hey, we're good. Hey, check Mike 57, Mike 57. He's time to leave. It's time to bust.
One last shot now for Cousins. Now he's forced out left. And it is caught. They got it. So a touchdown and a 2-point conversion with no time remaining. And we're off to overtime. And they'll let that play, the completed pass, stand as they decline the penalty.
So do you get the sense they like their defense?
Yeah, they wanted that next down to come up.
Yeah, they weren't worried about the yardage there at all. Just what you said. Let the downs trickle away.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now. The ones who are...
And he'll go down. And the Bears get there for the sack. Akeem Hicks in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 58's the money. 58's the money.
To try again after the sack. Cousins. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? Anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime.
Come on, boy. You better be ready. Wide. Spun.
3rd and long for Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. This is fielded at the 27. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done, now part 2. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Daniel with his first throw in OT. Going up top for Miller. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35. Big plays back and forth just continue. Both offenses excelling.
And I hear the excitement in your voice while you're calling this game. This hurts my soul as a defensive player, watching these teams go up and down the field and put points on the board.
Do me a favor the rest of the way. Sit back, relax, and just appreciate the offensive dominance that's going on out here.
I'll give it a shot. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Montgomery, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Here is Montgomery on 3rd and goal. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And my, how the tables have turned. They had a chance inside the red zone, punch that thing in and end it. Now we're going the other way.
And it's real easy to just look at them and say, boy, what an error, what a mistake you made. But how about the defense coming up huge? Let's give them a little bit of credit, keeping their team in the game, because if they score a touchdown there, it's game over.
No. Off. Zebra. Wait, son. First.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
Hey, Delta, 300. 58, right over there, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. After the sack on 1st down, Cousins. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. Got a man. It's Patterson, complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Bears, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.